after the last episode, you were coming into this one, seeing the title, expecting that there was going to be a cameo at the start by Sugar Mama or something, but nope. That would be... Actually, especially after watching this movie, I'm glad I didn't put up any kind of funds for something like that. Hello, I am Lucas Melby, host of A Whole New Pod, a podcast all about Disney Channel original movies, and I come in with grave news that Jacob Telejohn is dead, because I, of course, am joined by...
Jacob Telejohn.
The one time you don't...
Jacob! Oh, no.
No... We're just doing some goofs here, but Jacob, actually, would you say you had a near-death experience?
Near-death experience. The running and the falling, the tripping and the bawling.
So Jacob, apparently even the last time we would have recorded with Dustin, has kind of been walking around with a serious injury that he was kind of being secretive about, kind of downplaying. So what happened to you, Jacob?
I was just trying to run fast. I was trying to beat the little kids, get my balls.
The reveal has already come in. So Jacob broke his collarbone, correct?
Yeah. I have an impacted distal clavicle fracture.
And he originally told me that he heard it because he was running and fell. I was immediately taken aback because I was like, you're not really like a jogger, but you know what? Hey, new year.
No, I wasn't jogging. I was running.
New year, new mid-year resolution. Maybe Jacob wants to exercise a little more, but... Well, maybe you hurt yourself because you haven't run since like fucking high school or something, gym class. Then it came out that Jacob, in a reminiscent fashion to maybe the story we told about when we went to Stewart Fest with Dustin, and Jacob scrambled at the parade to get a bunch of candy away from children.
The candy.
Jacob was at our local amateur league. Not even like AA or what is the...
It's I don't know.
What's below like the MLB?
It was just like college summer ball kind of thing.
So
like,
very low stakes.
Guys get drafted. This is where guys get drafted basically out of like teams will watch these teams perform and then that's how they draft for the major leagues.
But Jacob,
it was the home run derby.
The home run derby of our local team.
Well, I mean, of like all the teams.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal. I haven't been here in like 20 years. So that's why we were up there. So, home run ball flies out. Yeah.
You're there. You're geared up, ready to go. You're in like your starter blocks, like you're a sprinter.
Yeah, I'm a sprinter.
And you rush out there. And who are you kind of fighting to get to this ball with?
I mean, like there's guys that are older than us out there.
Oh, okay. Dustin, this was a game I did not go to with Jacob.
You can confirm that.
Dustin said there was like a 40-year-old guy, but it looked like he had a kid with him, so at least he had somewhat of an excuse. Jacob was fighting with children for a ball. Are these balls even signify like who hit them?
I mean, you know who's at the plate.
But I'm just saying, like, as far as like memorabilia or whatever, you're trying to like sell shit and, you know, turn profits.
I mean, this is just for fun. I mean,
well, clearly
we had talked about always going to the home run derby, you know, when we were younger. Like Dustin went to the last one, you know, when he would have been young. I don't know what year it was. It was a while ago. So like, yeah, we got to go to the next one, the All-Star game. So it was the home run derby on Monday, and then the All-Star game on Tuesday. And we went to both,
even with the broken clavicle for the second.
Yeah,
well, dedication to this podcast. Jacob is here.
Crippled.
Who knows? This episode might go up a little late because, ironically, in the last episode, we talked about how flexible Dustin is. When he's on an episode with us, he makes sure we get it on time, unlike with Sam. Though, Dustin is also a large force for sometimes why we might not get episodes done because he always takes Jacob to go do stuff. Like injure himself at baseball games. This Friday... I was a part of this.
Oh, you had so much fun.
We don't always record on Fridays, but Jacob's been laid up out of work, so usually we don't on Fridays because we both work and maybe are a little tired. But Jacob's just been sitting around watching Marvel on my Disney Plus account. But we went to a demolition derby,
Demo, brother,
at one of the local county fairs. Yeah. And let me tell you, brother, check out your local demolition derby.
It's fun. Like,
I was not disappointed.
No, there were 6 different heats.
Varieties of vehicles, minivans.
Minivans, they had like old cars from like the 50s, trucks, compact cars. They had like a powder puff, who were just like women doing it. And then they had another one with like young kids. Some of them were like smaller, it was only like, 5 cars. But there was other ones where there were 10, 14, in like this ring, like, in this like kind of mud pit kind of thing. And a couple small fires, cars were like rolling up on their sides. It was
the
pretty
fire
wild.
department was on call, but I think they just had to extinguish one thing. It wasn't really
nothing major, but there were like tires flying off and stuff. They'd have to stop the races to pull out.
I didn't really know what I was going to get into, and certainly an interesting crowd for people watching or the people gathered there. But the actual events itself, we got into it and tried to pick some winners and stuff, and it was a pretty good time.
Each of us picked a winner, and it was weird. Like the first 3 races, we all picked winners, and then we just. Well, it's because
those were like the amateur ones, I guess. I don't know. The minivan one was the first, and that was kind of my favorite. But maybe it's because I popped my demo cherry with the minivans.
Yeah.
You might be able to tell that we're trying basically everything we can to not talk about today's Disney Channel original movie.
Which usually means it's one we don't really care as much about.
I've had quite the whiplash. My mind is all up in thoughts after watching the final Evangelion film last night to now watching the Proud Family movie.
Yeah.
Which is also the finale, though they, I think, are doing some kind of revival show on Disney+. Plus. After seeing this, there are questions that need to be answered. So let's just get right into it. Surprising opening, I would think, for most people who know anything about the Proud Family. I do not know anything about the Proud Family except for Sugar Mama.
I knew, Sugar Mama. I know some of the main character names. I recognize the faces, but not all the names, like Penny.
Penny Proud.
Yeah,
so I'll run down. We've got Penny Proud, who is in this one. She's turning 16. She's the main character of the show. We got Sugar Mama, who is her maternal grandmother.
Yeah.
I don't actually know her mother's name. Her father is Oscar. And then
2 siblings.
Yeah, 2 little babies. I think one's name is literally like BB or Baby.
Yeah.
Who's got a big afro. The other one is a girl
so
who looks kind of fucked up. There's some shots of her in this movie that just looks demonic. And then there's also a dog named Poof.
Puff?
I think. Oh no, Puff. But the notes say Puff. And that is the whole Proud Family, the titular Proud Family.
Yeah.
And this is their movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's mostly just kind of a basic cartoon sitcom, maybe some goofy situations, but nothing weird and kind of reality bending.
No. I mean, it's or like
maybe
you said, it's like the Cosby
suspension
Show.
Of disbelief.
It's it's not like a wild and crazy show.
And I'll just preface this that I'm going to say some stuff about this movie. I do not like this movie very much. I respect the Proud Show's existence as far as being a show of representation where it was a black family.
Yeah.
I think mostly just being a family in cartoon form. I don't really know what the fuck happened with this movie because things get weird.
It's a mess. There's a lot.
Kind of like the Even Stevens movie, and it won't be the only time we mention the Even Stevens movie in this episode.
There's a lot
it did not make me want to go back and watch the rest of the show. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
We open up under the sea.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
Good recovery.
Thank you.
And
you should also mention not just like that, but the Ring of Endless Light.
Yeah, we're going through the water, and I'm like, they gonna be mermaids up in this bitch?
But we're actually the perspective of something, though, aren't we?
Yeah, it seems to be something sinister as we're getting sinister music, but then we also see some fish swimming by.
They're like freaking out.
Our like camera first person perspective, and they get scared and run away.
Yeah.
And then the fish or whatever surfaces. We see a tropical island.
And then we get fun music.
Yeah, then it switches to being tropical music. Yeah. And then we get the title card, Proud Family movie or whatever.
Yeah.
We cut to a crazy scientist who, we'll just say now, his name is Dr. Carver. And
George Washington Carver.
Maybe, who knows? And the juxtaposition of the imagery makes us believe that he is on this island, and that is later revealed to be true.
Yeah.
And he just won't stop laughing.
He
His
laughs a
introduction,
lot.
he's in a lab doing some experiments, and he lasts for like literally 30 seconds straight.
And this is a new character too. I mean, I don't think he would have.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever.
No, I had to look that up because I read some of the Wikipedia plot synopsis as I sometimes do before watching the movie, and I just was like, excuse me? Then I had to look up, was this character in the show? Was the Proud family really weird ever?
No.
And both of those seem to be no. So similar to, I don't know if there was similar to the Jet Jackson movie where there's like the villain in that I assumed was like a recurring villain in the show. No, completely new for the movie.
No.
And he's doing some weird experiment with a peanut. And as he's doing that, there seems to be another little humanoid peanut creature that's talking to him.
Called...
I don't know. I think this might be Cashew, but I don't actually know if this one... I didn't have it in my mind to know who he was yet.
Yeah. Cashew's like the main one of these little character
I think they're called genomes.
Yeah.
I'll mostly call them peanut people.
Which is what they are.
And Dr. Carver's got this weird thing going on where his nose, he's got a long kind of witchly nose that falls off or gets messed up on his face.
Yeah, not on his face straight. It's
so
like there's a big hole in his like face.
Yeah, it's kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
His experiment produces a kind of a buff peanut man with some kind of defined muscles, but the peanut man immediately disintegrates.
Melts. I think it melts.
Yeah, and then it seems to also have caused an explosion, and we see then again that we are still on the island we saw in the opening because we see the whole island jump up into the air in very cartoon fashion and fall back down.
No.
And then we're off to wherever the Proud family normally takes place, some kind of town or city, and there is chaos on the streets because Penny and her friends, who I do not know the names of, are in driver's ed class. I thought she was taking her driver's test, which would have been very weird that all of her friends were in the back seats.
Okay, so that makes more sense.
But this is just with her driver instructor.
Yep.
And they're practicing driving while Penny's talking about, I don't know, her 16th birthday is coming up, blah, 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 blah,
She's really distracted, and I think they talk about that rapper guy, don't they? 15
Probably.
cent.
We hear maybe the first drop of 15 cent.
15
to really enunciate the difference, though. 1.5 cent.
Yes. 35 cents less.
And they're coming back to the school where there's the driving course, but then there's just all these kids on the driving course.
Yeah, they're like in the parking spots. Or like where the cones are.
They're running away
up.
in fear from Penny, who's hitting all of the cones.
She's driving really bad. Really bad.
Yeah. And it was already here where I started to just be like, not loving the art style of this movie. Yeah. And then I'm also getting like a weird disconnect with the voice acting, with like the imagery, because the voice acting, a lot of it, especially like Dr. Carver, Oscar Proud, the dad, it's all like so over the top, but like the imagery of the characters is actually like very basic and not really overly animated. It's pretty rudimentarily animated. So just sometimes it even felt like also some of this the recording, I don't know, it was kind of hard to understand what the characters
Animation's
were saying.
missing too throughout, because this is the first time, at least we notice it, when they're driving around, there's like nobody in the vehicle.
Oh yeah, they have a CG kind of animatic of the car, but it's
just empty. But then like the next scene, then they're just like in it. So yeah, that kind of just like lacking. Yeah,
which I could understand.
Lacking animation.
Like I kind of understood for. I don't know. There's both like an ambitiousness to this movie because it does a bunch of crazy shit, and it's also 90 minutes long compared to something like Kim Possible movie, which is basically kind of like 2 or 3 TV episodes thrown together. But I don't know. I didn't really love the style of Kim Possible either because I had never really watched that. It's very, very, I don't know, kind of pastel and different art style drawn backgrounds from the characters. And it's like a look, but not a look I'm really a fan of. There, I'm just saying right now, I think this looks bad a lot of the time.
He hates it. Does not love it.
So as I already mentioned, that we're coming up on Penny's 16th birthday.
Correct.
And she tells her dad or her family that she wants to compete for an audition to be in the Loose Change group or gang.
Which is like the dance crew for 15 Cent.
Yeah, the backup dancers of 15 Cent who they're pulled from high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 Cent. We'll get to him. So, Oscar, the dad, is not happy about this, and he sees the way Penny's dressed up to go to an audition or something, and he says, "Why are you dressed like a hoe?" And the mom interrupts to say, "Wholesome teen."
Oh yeah.
So there's some edgy humor in this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to that creepy Joker dude later, where he said a pretty feisty line.
I'm not saying it's great humor, but
it's
they go for some stuff, I guess. So Oscar the dad has a big peanut presentation.
Whoa, a big peanut.
So he goes to this like snack academy, or he's trying to get into a snack academy that's run by some snack corporation, and it's like Shark Tank for snacks.
Yeah. Yep.
And before him, Dr. Carver is in there, and he is presenting some dancing peanuts, and the whole board is like, "Yeah, fucking peanuts are lame as shit. This sucks," and they reject him.
Yeah.
He also loses his nose while giving the presentation here.
Oh.
But he just leaves it behind. His nose falls off and he just says, "See ya," and leaves.
Rip.
But then I think he gets his nose back anyways. Then Oscar shows off his thing, which isn't so much like a specific snack, but he uses a formula
to make it. He wants to make it bigger.
I think he said it was going to be a dipping sauce, but then the formula makes the peanut huge, and explodes.
Yes.
But then there's just like a billion peanuts around. Yes. But then they taste bad also. So they reject his idea, but Dr. Carver is seeing this formula, and he's got some ideas.
Makes things bigger.
He's got a light bulb going off in his head.
Good old George Washington Carver.
The best. Then it was really weird because Penny that night sneaks out of her house, but Sugar Mama is sleeping on the couch. So I was like, how late at night is this that they're having this tryout for high schoolers also at the high school, it seems, for this dance competition?
For her to have to sneak. I mean, grandmas go to bed early though, right?
True. But do they make Sugar Mama sleep on the living room couch?
I don't remember.
Seems kind of cruel.
I mean, they did. She did. Maybe she liked it. Maybe she wants it. So she can watch her TV.
It's good for her back.
She likes the TV.
Penny's there with her friend and some other kids, and they're all trying out, and the choreographer's got some crazy moves that they can't keep up with.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of sucks. There's a white girl that her friend Penny's that's a white girl. The choreographer says, "Hey, you suck," and Penny's like, "No, she was good." The white girl's also like, "Yeah, I was just about to get crunk."
Crunk, yeah.
Some weird lingo that the movie did come out in 2005, but still it's a little edged for the Disney Channel, but still pretty stupid.
Yeah, so then the dance instructor said, "Well, that's fine. She can stay and you can go."
And then Penny is very unhappy. No.
And then
Penny's like, "I'm actually good. I was just trying to stand up for my friend. You can't cut me. I'm good." She's just like riding my coattails.
No, you're out. And then she calls in what were the group of three girls that were like blue?
So yeah, doing a little research. They are called the Gross Sisters.
Gross Sisters. But they're like blue. They're like a weird color.
They are...
They're bad.
They're styled to be also African-American, but they're blue. Yes. So I'm like, are these... Me knowing nothing about the Prophet, are these ghosts?
No, it's just a weird...
Yeah, they're just like the bully trio, and they're working as kind of the enforcers or bouncers at this audition.
So they're going to kick them out, but, oh, look at this. It's 15 Cent in the stands. He's like, no, I like that girl. I like what she do.
He likes her attitude.
Yeah.
So
I like that she stands up for her fam.
So yeah, I guess that means Penny and her friends are in or something.
Yeah.
So then 15 Cent drives Penny home
in this giant Hummer.
Yeah.
Well, he said it's his grandma's Hummer.
Yeah. So
later on.
And this could just be like a complete ploy by 15 Cent because he's dropping her off.
How old is he?
And Penny's all like, "Hey, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to like, hey, first date, you're trying to get a kiss with me."
And he's like, "Nah, like the story was it Jennifer Lopez?
Christina Aguilera.
Or Christina Aguilera. Well, ain't true. The tabloids got it wrong. I'm just like a sensitive soul." And then she's like...
And then she's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll kiss you myself." So I don't know. That could just be some game from 15 Cent by saying like, "Hey, I respect women so much."
I don't know how old he is. If he's hooking up with 15-year-olds and Christina Aguilera.
So, yeah.
What's going on there?
Questions.
Oh, boy.
We should say 15 Cent kind of looks like a little Bow Wow, maybe. Or he's got a one tooth with a cent sign on it.
They make it really steamy in that.
Yeah, they're kind of doing some heavy necking going on. So
because Papa Proud pulls up.
Yeah, Papa Proud has to wipe down the condensation on the windows to see that Penny and him...
Penny!
That's exactly what he sounds like.
He was pissed.
Oscar grounds her indefinitely and tells her that her birthday is canceled.
But he still gives her a present here, doesn't he?
Well, the mom gives her the present from the dad, but Penny is so mad at him that she does not want to open it.
Yeah, so she throws it. So yes, she does have the present here. This is where she gets
left in her room.
Yes.
Dr. Carver shows up in a disguise, kind of looking like a black Albert Einstein. And he goes to the Proud's house and says, hey, you've won an island vacation.
Because Sugar Mama had been filling out like a sweepstakes thing. So
that's how they buy into it, but Dr. Carver didn't know.
No, he didn't. No, so
So yes, essentially the exact same premise as the Even Stevens movie of black guy shows up to their house. Yeah. Tim Meadows and Even Stevens, Dr. Carver in this to say you've won a vacation to an island where not everything
nobody
appears.
Signed up for it, or they don't even know how they signed up for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm very worried about the future of Disney Channel original movies if we're just destined to TV show, the
Paradise,
movie, and they all go to islands. I know that Sweet Life of Zack and Cody eventually becomes Sweet Life on Deck. Is there some
island movie,
interstitial movie where they're on an island? Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie. Do they go to an island? I can't handle that.
It's possible.
I will say Even Stevens' movie is better than this, but they're both pretty bad. So they arrive at Legume Island, of course. It's not really like a play on words. Just peanuts are called they are legumes, so it's just it's a joke, I guess.
For adults or people who just know what it is.
Nerds.
Yeah, I'd heard the word, but I don't really get what it is. That's just a scientific plant or whatever.
Yeah, I think beans are also legumes, maybe.
Yeah. So it's a type. Okay.
So we see a couple quick shots, and I didn't think I thought it was going to be more of a secret that there's peanut people on this island. Yeah. But they see them pretty quickly. But then we also see quick little establishing shots or hints at a sea monster in the water. Ooh.
Oh my.
So we meet Cashew, who we maybe saw earlier in the movie, I'm not sure. He is... speaking of jokes that maybe go over the heads of kids, he's filling in a role similar to Tattoo from the old TV series Fantasy Island, who was a little man who would always go, according to his New York Times obituary after he committed suicide at the age of 50, he would go, the plane. So kids love Fantasy Island.
Yeah, I did not get that.
He gives them the lowdown about the island, says, hey, there's going to be a luau this evening, so just like in Even Stevens, we get to go to a native tropical gathering party where there's ulterior motives at play. So there's a big music number. The Peanut people are all singing, but the music is so kind of... It's an okay song, and it's just more ostentatious than the animation that accompanies the Peanut people. That's just very stiff and unexciting. Yeah. The family's all dancing around, and as they're dancing, we're seeing... Peanut people kind of, I'm going to trim Granny's toenail and take that. I'm going to take a little bit of hair from the dog and Penny and whatnot. Ooh, what's going on there?
I noticed the grandma's toenail, but that was about it.
Yeah, I think I missed some of the other stuff, so then it just seemed like a gross out joke. Yeah. But then I had also read some of the Wikipedia page, so I knew that there was going to be something going on.
Something's going on.
At the end, big birthday cake's rolled out for Penny. But she's mad at her dad still, and she wishes that she make a wish for your birthday.
Was never born.
I just want to dance with 15 cents.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. Somehow the cake I think winds up on her dad's face, and she runs away to the shore or something.
Yeah.
On the shore, she runs into Cashew.
Cashew's hiding in the bushes, isn't he? Or he comes up and he's like,
I've been seeing you acting all like something's wrong with you.
And then Penny goes on to vent for 2 hours about her entire life history with her father and why she hates him so much.
Yeah.
And Cashew's like, damn, you got daddy issues. And at the end she says...
Cashew is a good one. There's another one named Wale who's a naughty man.
I mean, he's also apparently the good one.
He's a naughty legume.
And Penny at the end kind of just gives a little foreshadowing of saying, I wish I had different parents.
Ba-ba-bum.
Dr. Carver then takes Oscar to his, mansion house on the island.
Yes.
And again, I thought these were going to be like more secretive, but then he's just like, hey, I'm trying to make fucking peanut people.
Yeah.
And I think I know about your formula. I think it would help to make this work really good.
We'll split it 50-50.
But
right?
I'll also pay you $10 million.
$10 million, so he writes him up a big check, you know.
At first, the dad says, well, I got to talk to my wife. So they're going to like seal the deal the next day.
Yeah.
We see Sugar Mama is watching weird local news where there's like local news reporter, legume peanut lady,
doing like
hazelnut, and those shots I found particularly disturbing because
like
the
weird
the peanut creatures, they're creepy, and I don't like the way they look. They got like big heads, and they
look like peanuts.
The heads look like peanuts, but like the rest of the body, they got like weird like butts that stick out, and like where does that come from? The peanut,
like E.T. with a peanut head.
Okay, I haven't seen E.T. for a while. Oh, and this is that night. Dr. Carver is maybe sneaking around looking at them.
Yeah, because is this where they have curtains on their bungalow things that you can just see through.
But then Sugar Mama like teleports outside to do a
sexy
bathrobe striptease.
Yeah.
She has a swimsuit on underneath.
We don't know that right away though.
And it's playing the Never Gonna Give You Up.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Not the Rick Astley song, the more soulful one.
Yeah, it was good.
And she gets into the hot tub, and then she farts on it so that there's bubbles.
So he has to create the bubbles in the hot tub.
But Dr. Carver is not on board. He
walks into it though with his clothes on eventually. Because
he's so intimidated by Sugar Mama.
Yeah, he walks in fully clothed to her, and then she starts like really laughing. We don't see what they're laughing about, but
Then in the pool, she takes off her swimsuit, right? I don't know if you said that.
Yeah, in the hot tub, she takes it off, and then that's when he walks in. Like she's fully naked. They're implying that she's fully naked.
Some real Dumb and Dumber hot tub action there.
There's something going on there.
Not a fan of Sugar Mama. She very much is just the rapping granny archetype. Or if you have seen Space Jam: A New Legacy, where they have the jokes with Granny, where it's just like, wow, Granny's talking about Twitter, and Granny's doing Matrix moves.
Yeah.
Old people don't do that, right? It's funny. So that's basically seems to be Sugar Mama's character. At least in this movie. Maybe she's more fully realized in the television show. Early in the morning, Penny sneaks out to leave the family behind, and she goes to some shore and puts out SOS coconuts.
Yeah.
Spells out SOS.
Soon for them to be washed away.
And Jacob found it to be a chance for a joke.
They could have. It could have been. They could have spelled out like fun instead of SOS, or something. I thought it was going to like, what's it going to spell now instead? Which
wouldn't have been that funny of a joke. And I would have said, this movie is not fun. I'm putting out the SOS to get me out of this movie.
Oh, tapping out.
Oscar's on his way to seal the deal.
And we're only like 20 minutes into the movie at this point.
It's so long. It even almost has like a Return of the King style ending where I'm like, wait, there's more of this movie to go?
Yeah.
Oscar's going to Dr. Carver's house to seal the deal on the $10 million formula pact or whatever.
But he gets stopped in the forest.
Yes.
By Wale.
Well, I believe it's just pronounced Wally.
Wale.
I don't think they want to draw any specific attention, but he is a peanut person.
With a Jamaican hat.
Rastafarian hat, which has like twigs sticking out of it. I don't know if that's supposed to be his hair.
The hair, the dreads.
The character designs. We should say also Dr. Carver. I don't understand so many of the character designs in the show. Just doesn't mesh where. Well, I don't know. A lot of the Penny's friends
are just stick.
They
people?
Look like
twig people.
Like they look like Ed and Eddie characters, where they're like designed grossly, but I don't think that's the intention. But especially the white girl with braces, she could easily just transition into the Ed and Eddie world. And the Gross sisters, they're basically like the three evil sisters in Ed and Eddie.
That's fair.
Peanut Wally says, hey, don't trust Dr. Carver. He's bad news or whatever.
And Oscar, rather than just goes for straight the money, he
tries to kind of play it out a little longer where he says, well, I don't have the formula with me, which makes sense because he wouldn't probably bring it on a tropical island vacation.
And so, yes, he's not lying. He doesn't have it with him, but he's also doing that. He's like, I don't know where it is. Didn't he say, it's
something like that? Because then Dr. Carver begins to torture him.
Yeah.
First, a little they're all goofy, but at least some of them start to get real because he's like tickling him with a peanut person, and then they're tickling him with feathers, and then they're spanking him with a machine.
With a paddle that has holes in it.
Then they're electrocuting him with eels.
Yeah. I don't remember the other one.
It doesn't work. He doesn't say... He doesn't own up to where it is at this point.
But he does know where it is.
Yeah. Dr. Carver's just like, fucking whatever. Bring in the clones.
Yeah.
So he has made... I don't really know...
A machine. Well, he's not the one that made it.
Isn't it? Oh, yeah, that's true. That is...
We don't want to spoil that.
That's like a City of Lost Children, a French movie I watched recently that has cloning in it. So yes, there's a special machine where it's like, I don't understand really what he needs this formula for. It's for superpowered
to make
peanuts.
Things bigger.
But he has humanoid peanuts on the island. Yes. He makes clones that look like real humans out of peanuts that are very well functional and also seem to be really strong.
Yes, very strong.
Why does he need this formula?
That is true. They're already strong. That is weird. Who knows?
So these clones all look at like exact copies of the members of the Proud family.
Yeah, there's nothing. Oh, they do like shimmer sometimes. There's like a shimmer. But
that's only at this point. I don't think they ever shimmer later on.
Penny shimmers with her friends.
She got that shine.
Yeah, it's like a weird, I don't know, kind of like a glitch, I guess, in their system or something.
I think it's just supposed to be, to show, they're not perfect, but then there really is no issues with them later on.
Correct, yeah.
At least not in that sense.
Yes.
So their mission is to go back to the city, pose as the Proud family.
And find the formula. The secret formula.
I don't know, I guess they're just worried about neighbors thinking that there's burglars at the Proud family house, but really, they could just send peanut people into the house and look around for the formula. Whatever the case is, the plan does not work out completely well because clone Penny doesn't have her communication watch on, so she has to go back and get that. Meanwhile, real Penny stops by the clone family, and real Penny has a watch on, so they mistake her for the clone Penny. And Penny mistakes them for her real family, so she gets on the boat with the clone family, which they tell Penny to drive, because that's her mission objective. And then they go back to the Proud family's house.
There's some fun stuff with the mom here.
Oh, it's so fun.
Where Penny says... I don't know what exactly. It was some kind of teen slang, because it prompts the mother to pull out a cassette player with earbuds and pop in a cassette that says, like, teen slang. And she just listens to it. But she, like, really gets into it for the rest of the movie. Like, it's all she's about the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, she eventually has, like, a baseball cap on and, like, bling, and she just speaks Ganks all the time.
All faux shizzle.
Papa P and stuff.
Yeah, I don't even get the nickname she calls the clone dad. She calls him, like, OPZ or something like that. I guess, maybe it's OP or is his initials. I don't know.
Oscar Prague, OPZ.
It's a perfect move.
Who knows? Yeah, but Penny has no idea that they're...
No.
Like, she sees they're acting weird.
Yeah, well, because they get to the house and they start pulling up weeds and lifting up things that they shouldn't be able to lift up.
They even tell her, you drive the boat home. And she's like, okay, yeah.
Well, meanwhile, real family...
Because it's her mission.
Meanwhile, the real family encounters clone Penny.
Yes.
And they are joining... I guess, somehow Oscar...
And clone Penny doesn't realize that these aren't the...
Well, I think she knows that they aren't.
Not right away.
She doesn't want to break her cover.
No, like later on, I think when they're discussing where the formula is when she's like, oh, formula, oh.
Maybe.
When it, like, clicks. Because she made the satchel for the babies. She's like, it's my mission. And then she makes the little, weave basket for the babies, and then she's...
But also just say somehow Oscar, who is captured and tortured by Dr. Carver, maybe I missed it, but somehow he escapes, tells the family about the clones. They meet up with Wally, and he tells them to go to the other side of the island, and clone Penny is now with the real family. It's a total swap between those two.
Total swap.
But they're climbing up an island, and Clone Penny punches through a rock.
It's gonna fall and kill her and the 2 babies.
Yeah, so...
And then the mom and dad notice this, obviously.
They
Like, wow.
notice it, but it doesn't seem to quite
No.
raise the immediate red flags it should.
No.
Because it's a cartoon. It's silly.
Exactly.
So then we meet some characters that I guess were recurring in the show. It's his...
Neighbors.
They're neighbors. They're
There's
like
2
Hispanic.
of them. One we don't know the name of.
Yeah, well, I don't remember the one that we do have the name of, but his dad looks like fucking the Batman the Animated Series Joker for some reason. And this is how he looks in the TV show, too. He's got pale skin, green hair, purple suit jacket.
Orange in there mixed in.
Yeah, orange shirt or tie or something. And I'm like...
Sugar mama, le malacita.
Yeah, so his character is just that he's a horny Hispanic guy.
Yes.
So I don't know why he needs to look like the Joker.
So when Sugar Mama comes back to where they live, she now knows Spanish all of a sudden.
The joke is at first that like, oh, I can't understand Sugar Mama, and I can't understand because Sugar Mama's speaking Spanish. I can't understand my mom because she's speaking in slang.
Yeah.
So this neighbor who must not think that Sugar Mama can speak Spanish.
He's calling her a hefty heifer.
The part I laughed the most about is he just goes, "Oh, Sugar Mama," and he says, yeah, something like, "Oh, this hefty heifer got out of her barn or whatever."
Or something.
But since Clone Sugar Mama has Spanish peanuts in her, she can understand him and responds back.
Yes.
And I guess they're like into each other.
Yeah.
Old people shouldn't be in romantic relationships.
It was weird.
They should just live out their days and not be horny at all.
And just die. There's a lot of sex going down at nursing homes.
That's
it's a big
what I
deal.
hear. Speaking of creepy people, back with the real family, Wally the creepy peanut, Wally the peanut gets creepy with Penny, where he just reaches out and grabs her hand, and she says, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Making a move." You're a peanut, and she's 15 or 16 years old. And I thought at first, like, oh, he thinks something's weird with Penny. He's doing like a play to prove that she's a clone, because Wally knows that there are clones being made too. But nope, he doesn't. He's just being a weird creeper, and Clone Penny does some moves on him. And this is where the parents start to be again, hey, is there something weird going on with Penny?
Absolutely.
They're probably just like, hormones, whatever.
Hormones.
Yeah, you can work on it a little bit. I thought they were going to, the clones and Penny, I thought they were going to the event that 15 Cent is supposed to be performing at a halftime show.
But that's later on, apparently.
It actually kind of doesn't ever happen.
At the end, they danced, though.
Well, then he just lets them go, though. So it's kind of like it doesn't actually happen.
Yeah, who knows?
And it's I did like, it kind of felt like something out of Fairly Odd Parents, where it's some sport that exists in this world that's like a combination of football,
wrestling,
/rugby, /basketball, wrestling, all on like a trampoline or something.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think they call it like stuff ball, or I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't remember it being a thing. It was probably a thing in the show they watched on TV, or who knows,
And they basically Go Figure was only 2 movies ago, but they basically do the joke from Go Figure just with a bunch of teens on the phone, where all the teens are chatting on cell phones and bringing up other lines to chat with each other and sending a bunch of text messages. And the joke is, they're all in the stadium sitting within 1 seat of each other.
Yeah, like a row of each other. Yeah.
So, it was kind of funny. Probably would have been funnier if I hadn't just seen it in Go Figure.
Yeah.
And if the girls also were not the most annoying possible. They're all, hey, girl!
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
Well, yeah, so she has like a friend that's more like ritzy than the others. It usually has all like the new tech, and she's getting all sad.
Yeah,
and
we didn't mention that clone Oscar makes it rain constantly and is just giving out money to
they're all $1,000 bills.
The taxi driver, to Penny, to the
friends,
neighbors.
The neighbors, people.
So Penny gets all of this nice. She's got nice shoes. She's got a
phone,
a nice
camera
flip camera phone.
Yeah, my goodness.
And I think somewhere here she had opened up her present from her dad.
And was wearing the necklace.
That was a necklace.
Yes,
the necklace is important.
Very.
Wally brings the family, and then they meet
on a rock. They meet a homeless man on a rock.
They meet a very hairy man. who seems familiar. And it turns out it's the real Dr. Carver, and that the other Dr. Carver they've encountered was a clone.
Kind of like Scooby-Doo.
Kind of like Jordan Peele's Us. I didn't make the connection first, but there is some aspects of that in this movie.
Scooby-Doo.
Sure, like Scooby-Doo.
Remember, like, where he gets, the live-action one, where he gets, like, the real doctor gets trapped down in, like,
Scrappy-Doo has a robotic Mr. Bean costume.
Yes, exactly.
How could I forget?
You just watched it.
I mean, that was a while ago, but I do have a better movie memory than you do.
Well, I remember you saw it, so that's why
you remember what I see better than what you see.
Yeah, that was the callback.
We get a little bit of a backstory that this Dr. Carver, it's not just a neat reference. He is literally the ancestor of George Washington Carver.
There's a picture that's completely differently animated.
Or it's just a different art style. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty good. I wish the rest of the movie looked like that. And yeah, he gives the lowdown. He's like, I wanted to continue my father, because he's George Washington Carver, the second. So father or grandfather, he wanted to continue the legacy, doing experiments with peanuts. He had created, first he accidentally made some bad peanuts, and they all died except one that escaped and became the sea monster.
The sea monster is the point of view we see at the beginning of the movie.
The sea monster is so unnecessary.
We see it a couple times. It's a means of
but
transportation
it could just be
later on.
It could just be sharks in the water or something. It really...
That's fair.
It adds just like an extra layer of like lore and complication that's really not
lore.
needed.
We love Proud Family lore.
And then Dr. Carver creates the genomes.
Yes.
Then he tried to create...
Because he's lonely.
Yeah.
He wants a companion.
I don't know why Dr. Carver has to be stranded on this island.
No.
But then he...
How did he get to the island?
I don't know why.
He has a peanut helicopter.
I think he wanted to have like extra brain power. So again, kind of like the French movie starring Ron Perlman, The City of Lost Children. He creates a clone of himself that is still peanut based, and everything was fine until they sat out in the sun too long, and the clone Dr. Carver gets horribly burned into a monstrous visage.
It's a scary looking thing.
So that's why he wears like makeup to cover himself up, and that's why his nose falls off, because it's not real.
Yes, exactly.
And then I don't know why Dr. Carver, he just went into hiding, and then the other Dr. Carver continued the clone Dr. Carver continued the experiments. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why the hiding took place. Was he scared? Did the other guy just become evil?
Yes, he did. He did become.
So evil. He was hiding from him.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that makes the most sense.
Yeah. So they already have the clone thing. So that's what we were referencing earlier when they cloned the Proud Family. So the original one had
and
made
Dr. Carver's like, hey, don't give the bad guy your formula. He's trying to use it for this stuff. And then Oscar says, oh, it's all good. It's in the formula, or it's in the Penny's necklace I gave her for her birthday.
This is where Penny, the clone is like,
Penny.
Okay.
Reveals that she's a clone by activating a tracker on her phone.
Yeah, she starts beeping on her watch. Which the real Penny also has the same watch.
I guess. No, yeah. So first, clone Penny calls the other clones to say that the formula is in the necklace. But right as clone Oscar learns this, Penny is going to dance practice.
Yes, Penny had just thanked the dad for giving her the necklace. So if she hadn't mentioned the necklace, they still wouldn't know that she had it. But of course, they had to set that up. So yes, 15 Cent is picking up Penny in the Hummer, going to practice, and
maybe getting a Hummer.
Oh my!
I don't know if that's a sex act.
Oh god!
I feel like I've heard somebody say.
And Papa Proud just starts running after her.
And then he gets the dance practice, and then has a 8-mile hoodie Eminem combo going on to sneak in.
And we've seen So they're all dancing, right? And like he's trying to be secretly trying to just like snatch it from her. Like you see this kind of
it's a goofy choreographed thing of the person is unaware that they're trying to be captured, and Penny's just doing dance moves, and it keeps perfectly dodging all of clone Oscar's attempts. But it looks like, hey, he's doing some sick moves.
Yes, because the dance instructor and I think the 15 Cent recognizing like, hey, yo, stop, yo. Look at this dude. So
then it's revealed, oh, it's Oscar. So everybody's like, show us your moves.
It's your birthday. Go, Oscar.
They all love him so much, and
he's
Penny
like,
gets
it's
mad.
It's my birthday.
Penny gets mad that even this is being taken from her because of her stupid dad, so she goes home.
Everybody loves Oscar. And then, yes, he goes home and he brags to Mama Proud that they said it was my birthday.
And at home, Penny finds Cashew just randomly in her
closet, trying on her clothes.
And Cashew...
sniffing her underwear.
Penny is apparently not smart enough to really figure it on her own, so Cashew just tells her, hey, your family is all clones.
Your family is clones, Penny Proud.
That's a pretty good Cashew. But she doesn't believe him at first, so she goes downstairs and says, hey, this guy says you're clones. Isn't that crazy? Ha ha ha. And then they're like, oh shit, we've been had. So then one funny bit is Keith David, who I think is both a famous enough actor and famous enough voice actor. I think he voices the Arbiter in Halo and Commander Anderson. I don't know. One of the Black Commander in Mass Effect. He's in The Thing. He's also in John Carpenter's They Live.
Yeah.
So he voices the clone baby.
You recognize him, and that's all.
I recognize his voice immediately, and I thought it was funny. And then I was searching up too much stuff about Keith David that I missed a lot of what happened next. So Jacob, tell me about this peanut helicopter.
Well, yeah, so the family's just ready to go. So they have what they need.
So they got the formula from her?
Yes, they stole the necklace from her. And then she's like chasing after him. And then I don't even know. I think the babies were driving the helicopter. It just looks like it's just a peanut. It looks like a peanut and it's got the propeller. I think the babies bring it down and then Papa Proud hops into it and they just take off.
All right.
It's just
perfect.
It's a peanut copter. Yes, but like the babies also talk in like weird. Oh yeah, that's what you just.
Yeah, and it makes like a fucking weird poopy diaper joke or something.
Poopy diapers voices. Yeah, the baby voice really threw me off.
So then, fortunately, they took the helicopter, which still leaves the boat that they originally took to the city. So Penny gets all of her friends, and they take the boat to get to the island.
Yes, 15 cents yacht. So then when they get there, they like crash it.
It's not his yacht. It's the boat that they took from the island. The joke. Oh, is that?
Yeah, they call it.
It is 15 cents yacht. Okay.
Yeah, they call.
I thought it because there's a horrible joke about
somebody calls it like a yeah,
and he's like, they mispronounced yacht. But I thought the joke was later on that it was that he was telling 15 Cent that he pronounces yacht wrong. So I don't know.
No,
it's unclear.
So the kid that is with them, that was on the boat, was not 15 Cent. That was another one of their friends.
No, yeah, I know.
I
just figured it was the same boat that they had
Gotcha.
took anyways.
Yeah.
I could maybe go either way.
Yeah.
But also, I very much do not care. And
they crash
I'm
it.
perfectly fine
They
to say
sink
that
his
Jacob
yacht.
is correct about the Proud movie.
Yes. They sink the yacht, and they're on the island.
On the
And they're
island,
wet.
then evil Dr. Carver gets the formula, and he's using it, and then there's a horrible music number that I don't even know if it really qualifies as like a rap song.
Were they singing?
I don't know.
I don't remember this part.
Very hard to understand. I hated it. It was called like Hail the Peanut King or something.
Oh, no.
And it was in the vein of trying to be like a classic Disney cartoon villain song. Like,
A man cub. Man cub. Like Shere Khan singing.
Yeah, everybody thinks immediately of Shere Khan as the most... I was thinking maybe like Be Prepared by Scar and the Lion King. Or Gaston. The song Gaston and Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Jafar, ironically, does not have one, which is maybe why Aladdin is kind of overrated as a Disney movie. But the song sucks so much. But it's basically him filling in on his world plan to take over fucking the world with peanut soldiers.
Yeah.
We love it, right?
You love to see it.
And the time he's choosing to invade is he is going to the stadium with the sports ball thing that also happens to be, this is finally the one where 15 Cent is going to perform at the halftime show.
Yes.
But before he leaves, he is going to feed the family. He has them hanging in cages suspended above the ocean.
Yeah.
And he's going to feed them with Dr. Carver and fucking Wally to the sea monster, who was originally a peanut thing. Remember that. Don't get that twisted.
No.
Penny crashes the boat that her and her friends are in, and we get a real double whammy between that music number and what happens when they get to shore, because they encounter peanut people all wearing street clothes, kind of like those weird shirts from like the 90s, like the Looney Tunes wearing like bling and like baggy pants, and it's just like the Tasmanian devil or whatever. And Cashew says, "Oh, my people do not fight normally. You must battle dance them." So there's like a 2-minute long dance off. Maybe being 2 minutes, that's generous. It felt like forever. For a lot of it, they're not even dancing off against each other. It's just the peanuts dancing. And then it all comes down to the skinny white girl with braces who does lots of pop and lock in robot type shit.
Oh, no.
And she impresses everybody. And it's both like a joke and a surprise because she's white and she's such a good dancer.
Yes.
But also she does ultimately like win it for them. And I guess then the peanut dancers just kind of yield and surrender or whatever. I don't know. I was probably face palming a lot during this scene, so I didn't catch all of it.
Tough scene.
Yeah. Jacob's even checked out of the episode.
I didn't even care about this.
Jacob was on his phone in this part of the movie and is on his phone now.
Gotta stick to the script.
Dr. Carver, then he flies away. He says, "See ya." He's in his peanut ship.
Yeah.
Penny has this, I guess, dramatic thing where she jumps off a cliff to catch a rope.
Just like Louis Stevens in the Even Stevens movie where Ren pushes him off and we think that she's dead. We think that she's dead. Oh, here she is. She's hanging on the rope of
big surprise.
Of the peanut or of the helicopter.
You know Penny Proud, the action star.
Yes.
Yeah, she definitely got the upper body strength to just grab this rope, and then she fucking fights the evil peanut doctor on top of this blimp or whatever.
Yeah.
I know nothing about the Proud family, but again, I feel like there is a definite disconnect.
No, it's
there.
I don't remember any of this like in the show. Like I think it was just like just like straightforward. Like they'd have life situations they had to deal with, teen situations, family situations, not fucking evil scientist situation.
Sugar Mama maybe gets crazy from time to time, but she's not creating a race of. Oh yeah, I guess maybe I didn't really make it clear enough. The formula gets used to create an army of the buff peanut people. I did not make that clear. That was all in the music number I just mostly talked about how much I hated it.
Yeah, they're stored inside the blimp.
Yes, so there's a giant army of buff peanut guys, shirtless buff peanut guys, but you don't want to check out their bod. Nothing really to write home about.
Yeah,
there.
it's pretty lame, straightforward. But has like a giant syringe that she's trying to shoot.
Yes, that she gets from Dr. Carver. The real one, and he's like, it's peanut gas. It'll kill the peanut people.
Yeah, so why did he have that?
Fail-safe for when he was trying to make the buff peanut guys. I don't know if he was.
So, like, they fight, whatever. She gets...
Well, before they fight, actually, I will say this was one moment I kind of liked in the movie is evil Dr. Carver cuts into, like, the Jumbotron feed of the sports stadium, and he plays a kind of old-timey... public service announcement video of, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen, here's a look into the future of peanuts. You'll be all talking to these peanut people. Say hello, because we're not going anywhere." And I thought that it was very weird, but I thought it was one of the more creative and funny parts of the movie.
Yeah.
But here my notes say, Penny has some special rod, and she fights a Carver clone, who at this point, his face has been revealed to be the scary burnt face.
Yeah, it's scary looking.
And they're fighting on top of the ship. Yes, this final crazy action scene in the Proud Family movie.
Yeah, I don't know. They fight. She gets the syringe. She
gets
plunges it into the peanut.
Well, before she does,
pushes it.
There's a forced message here because evil Dr. Carver says, "Oh, do you really want to do that? You could live a life with pure freedom. I can give you a perfect peanut clone family." Yeah. And Penny's all like, "No, maybe my family kind of sucks, but I love them." And it's just like, oh my god, this is so forced. You could have easily had a much more grounded, reality-based message, or a movie where that could have been like the message about family.
Yeah.
And I don't know, she just, I don't know, age her up where she's going to college or something, and she's going to college, and her family doesn't want her to go, and they're all weird and obnoxious and embarrass her or whatever. And I don't know, maybe still have some kind of stuff, but crazy peanut army people, it's too much for the Proud Family movie.
Yeah.
So she says, nope, I love my family, so I'm going to commit peanut genocide, but only on the bad peanuts. Only on the bad buff peanuts.
That's right.
And it causes them to all become like gooified, which I think kind of explodes the ship, and it causes all of the goo to fall on the stadium. So it's like liquefying these sentient beings and then just throwing them on the people in the stadium, but it's not treated as this horrific act. It's more just a comedy bit.
Yeah.
When really it is fairly disturbing. And then 15 Cent gets to perform. Penny and her dad got up on the fucking blimp at some point. They were riding the sea monster there or whatever. It doesn't matter. They have a nice little moment where he says, yeah, Penny, you can dress like a hussy and then dance with 15 Cent. That's okay.
Oh my.
But actually 15 Cent doesn't perform. He says, hey, Penny, I guess maybe it's been established that she can sing and has a whole song ready, but he says, you can sing. And then her friends all show up and they say, we're going to dance with you. So then Penny sings a song, and then there's a band of peanut people, and they're playing the music, and they dance and sing. And that's the Proud Family movie. Except it's not, because
it's not over.
We get a title card that says 3 days later.
It's not over.
Within those 3 days, Penny has gotten her driver's license.
Yeah, she's driving around Papa.
She's driving around Papa
P.
and Cashew. And we learned that
she's in the back. Yeah.
Oscar's current business, maybe that's his thing in the show. He's just always trying to find like new business ideas, or he's like an entrepreneur or something.
Yeah.
But he's
wearing a hat for his company, right?
He's on a new thing where we see, because Sugar Mama, put respect on her name.
Sugar Mama.
He's going to the fridge in the kitchen to get a snack.
Yes.
To watch a wrestling show where there's a peanut person tag team. So they've entered society perfectly fine.
But it's like a weird drink she finds.
Yes, it's some experimental. It's called like peanut
Oscar makes.
O-Raid. It's some peanut
like
based
Gatorade or Powerade ripoff.
Yeah, it's a peanut based energy drink. So she's like, "Oh, that smells nasty." She sets it on the counter.
It smells worse than my. That'd give you bad breath. It smells worse than my feet or something. I don't know, something weird like that.
Green smell lines are coming out of it.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Puff, the dog, who's really not been in this movie at all, is being chased around with like an RC car
by
with
the babies. So he comes running, smashes into like the countertop, and then the whole can just falls into the dog's mouth.
And it's green, and it makes the dog big. Very much like Monster Blood. We see the dog there's a hole in the fucking wall of the house that he's broken through.
It's massive.
So it's very much like Goosebumps Monster Blood, where the dog eats it and he becomes a giant golden retriever.
And that's like the end of it, isn't it?
No, because Penny and because you weren't watching.
No, I wasn't
Penny
watching.
and her dad and Cashew are driving around. The car is kind of like a Red Bull car for his energy drink, where there's a big can on it, and they're promoting the energy drink, but then they crash into giant Puff the dog.
Okay.
So they're driving away from it, and I'm not making any of this up. The giant Puff walks by a window where there's a little Japanese boy playing video games.
Oh, yeah.
Who then stands up and is subtitled to have said, Puffuzilla!
Puffuzilla, yeah, I saw that.
So then they are continuing to drive away from Puffzilla.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of cornered at like a dock or something. But then as Puffzilla's closing in on them, Granny, I don't know why I want to keep calling her Granny. Sugar Mama appears, but she's giant Sugar Mama, and she fights off and drags away Puffzilla to go somewhere. I don't know. And then the Japanese boy appears out of nowhere to go, Puffuzilla. And I don't know how to say it completely in Japanese, but he says, Puffuzilla, no, I love you.
Yeah.
And that's the Proud Family movie. So yes, the Disney Plus series that is supposed to be coming out, I don't know, next year or something, better pick up after the Proud Family movie. Because I think this was a weird thing where I was looking at like how many episodes it was, and it wasn't like the weird 60 cutoff or whatever they do.
It was like 30 episodes a season. There were like 2 seasons.
It was like 52 episodes total, but I think the last episode aired on the same day as this movie.
Oh.
So it's just a weird thing where it's like they had a series finale for the show, but then it's like, how about we do this fucking crazy shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of hated this movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's not as bad as Life is Rough, probably. I don't know really why. I think there's maybe, even though I didn't like the animation and the art style, really, there's still arguably more artistry in this than something like Life is Rough. But life has been rough since seeing Life is Rough, and now we're at the Proud Family movie, and hopefully the Tia and Tamara can bring things up for us when we watch Twitches next episode. What are your final thoughts on the Proud Family movie? I don't think they should be proud of it.
No, I don't know. I like you said, I just kind of lost interest. It was too long. There was a lot going on.
There was a lot.
Like there wasn't
too
really,
much.
I don't know. Like
it just kept going and kept getting added on.
There were funny parts, but I don't really. Yeah, the movie as a whole. I don't know if it's in my. Maybe it might be in my like bottom. I don't know if it's a bottom tier. I don't know. It
would be very on brand for you to put the Proud Family and The Color of Friendship
by at least
in your bottom 5.
Movie. Yeah,
Jet Jackson movie there too. Probably won't like Twitches either.
Sky High, Twitches.
What? We didn't watch Sky High.
Oh, haven't we?
Sky High. That was like a theatrical release, I think.
Oh,
Sky High is a weird movie. I would rather watch Sky High than Proud Family. I think Sky High is probably only 90 minutes too. But yes, I will remember this episode to do the segment Never Remember, where we will discuss whether Penny Proud could have stopped 9/11. Going in, I would have been like, I don't know. She seems just kind of like a bookish teen. Doesn't got a lot going on, but she literally basically stops
saved the world.
An aerial invasion of a country.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
She get that special rod. She liquefies the Taliban.
Penny
or
Proud
Al-Qaeda.
Could have stopped 9/11 if she was on the plane.
Could potentially cause a different kind of disaster of goo dripping on New York City. Very much
turning
like
everybody to peanut people.
Especially in the rebuild of Evangelion movies when they kill an angel and there's just like the most blood possible pouring down on a city. Do that with peanut goo. Maybe Al-Qaeda were peanut people.
Oh no.
All right. Well, we did our due. We'll keep that dumb segment going on.
A movie we'll be soon to forget.
I'll never be able to forget it.
The peanut people.
They're etched into the deep subconscious. They'll find me in my nightmares.
I want to find a YouTube video of the neighbor old dude, just all of his lines throughout the show. I hope somebody made a compilation of that.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, they made a movie for this, so clearly there had to be, and they're making a revival series, so clearly some people have to like this.
So is the revival going to be any of the same people? Is it going to be the same
I'm sure it's going to be like a Proud Family all grown up kind of thing. Or it definitely will be aged up. I don't know how aged up, because it has technically been 15 plus years since the show ended. But whatever the case it may be, write us in at awholenewpod@gmail.com. Let us know how much the Proud Family meant to you.
Yeah.
Fill us in on what the show's actually like, because I definitely don't know, but I'm pretty sure it is not peanut people kind of stuff.
No, 100% not.
Kind of weird that the plot of this is in some ways, at least the end goal of the villain, kind of similar to the Kim Possible movie of little things kind of taking over the world or getting bigger or whatever.
Yeah, it is interesting the more that we watch, like the similarities we see between movies.
Well,
like it is I don't know, it just like
there is a long running tradition of in sitcoms like the Goofy episode where they go to an island and it's like a 2-part episode where a bunch of dumb shit happens.
Like just small little, like you just said, like the small little dudes that are going to take over the world.
And like, that's some ass-pullery. That's like that's a little bit of a reach, I think.
Well, like in the
but that's what we do here.
The Even Stevens movie in this one, the main character both jump off. We think they die. Oh, they're hanging on a rope on the end of a helicopter.
I mean, that's a pretty well-established trope, anyways.
But
all right, but yes, write us at awholenewpod@gmail.com. Find us on Apple Podcasts. Rate us, review us, and subscribe to us on there. Spread the love. Let others know about us on, as well as Google, whatever. I got another email from Google being like, you got to change some shit. But I'm like, I think I'm okay. Who listens on Google? Who cares? I don't know. Find us on Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. I don't fucking know. Your iHeartRadios, maybe. I don't know.
Everything. YouTube.
YouTube, of course. Like, rate, comment,
subscribe, like every video, comment peanut people on every video.
Yes.
If you listen to this far.
Ugh. I'm out of it.
Don't be a hoe. Wholesome person.
I don't know. You got any final thoughts, Jacob?
I'm ready to go to sleep.
I kind of have one because last night I was going to sleep.
Yeah.
Fluffing up my pillow, laying it down. Then
you found a peanut.
I found something.
Oh.
As I was about to lay down, I found a spider, a decent-sized spider.
Was it
like,
dead?
It's like a nickel-sized spider crawling around my bed, and I'm like,
hell?
I don't know if that came from my pillow. I was camping this weekend, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So then I killed it. But then I had a thought that I'll leave you with. What if there was a radioactive spider that was coming and would have bitten you and given you superpowers, but you killed it before it could? Every life matters.
Save a life.
Found a peanut, found a peanut, found a peanut just now. Just now I found a peanut just now. Cracked it open, cracked it open, cracked it open just now. Just now I cracked it open just now. It was rotten, it was rotten, it was rotten just now. Just now it was rotten just now. Ate it anyway, ate it anyway, ate it anyway just now. Just now I ate it anyway just now. Got a stomachache, got a stomachache, got a stomachache just now. Just now I got a stomachache just now. Called the doctor, called the doctor, called the doctor just now. Just now I called the doctor just now. Operation, operation, had an operation just now. Just now I had an operation just now. Died anyway, died anyway, died anyway just now. Just now I died anyway just now.
It was me, Barry. I made them draw Lola Bunny with fewer sexual features so that you wouldn't be horny and reduce your blood flow to make you a millisecond slower. Slow enough for me to kill Iris.